Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host Elion, and we are here with the absolute brilliant Empty Spaces. So welcome guys.
How's it going, El? Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. So guys, could you introduce yourselves and what you do within the band?
You want to go first?
I'm Alex and I play the drums.
And I'm Paul. Do guitar, bit of lead, bit of rhythm, share it with Steve-O, and I do some backup vocals.
Good. Cool. Let's dive into some questions. Um, as kids, what were you listening to?
Oh, that's a great question. I think both of us have a very similar experience. Like, my sister's 10 years older than me. So I remember being a kid and Scuzz and Kerrang were always on the TV. So what would have been Slipknot, Iowa would have just come out. So there was always My Plague, Left Behind. They were always being played. Um, she actually, my favorite band, Bullet for My Valentine, was her favorite band. She went and seen them back in, I think it was 2005 with Funeral for a Friend. Whenever it was like after their EP dropped before the first album. So as a kid growing up, just constantly around me, Linkin Park, massive for me. 3 Days Grace, Slipknot, Bullet, things like that. Sum 41 were a big one. I have such vivid memories of the Fat Lip and the Into Deep music videos always coming on and dancing around the living room. Well, especially for Into Deep with the diving boards where they're hopping back and forth and doing the flips between them. That would mostly
I
be
love that.
my childhood. It's so
Love
good.
that. Yeah. I loved Michael Jackson when I was younger. I was a big Michael Jackson fan, I have to say. I wore the outfit on Halloween. I knew all the moves. But after that, as sort of as Paul said, me and him shared a lot of similar tastes. So Slipknot, Korn, Limp Bizkit, all the new metal stuff, Killswitch Engage, Bullet for My Valentine, even grunge, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, all everything, just a bit of everything. I loved it all.
Yeah, cool, cool. So, um, who actually got you into sort of like listening to music? Yeah, I know, Paul, yeah, your sister was your
Yeah.
big influence on you, but was there anybody else who got you saying, "Oh, listen to this band" or "Listen to that thing"? Was it your parents, a sibling, or was it sort of like a journey of self discovery?
Yeah, so like obviously Alicia, my sister, massive influence. And then I've also got a great friend, Kyle. He actually plays guitar with me and Alex in a metal band that we have. And I remember being in primary school and we'd be talking about, oh, I learned this song. And then he'd go away and learn something that was a little bit heavier. Then I'd go away and learn something a little bit heavier. And we'd have this like competition. So we were always sharing music back and still to this day. I'll just go sit in his house in his bedroom with him. We'll have the computer going. We'll go have the guitars in our hands looking for new music to try and listen to. Then my cousin, whenever I was 11, I remember they live over in England. I remember her coming over and sitting me down and being like, "You have to listen to these bands." And looking back, it's pretty cringy. It was like Asking Alexandria, Murder Dolls,
Yeah.
with what Wednesday 13 and Joey Jordison. But had a had a real Murder Dolls phase for a while. But I think that would be the most of the influence and kind of how it shaped. And then I was also playing guitar from quite young, so there was a lot of trying to look out and find what cool songs I could go and play. Like I remember Papa Roach coming on
Yeah.
YouTube, recommended, and hearing Last Resort and going, I need to learn this. And then obviously you listen to more of the music, and then you find similar bands like Alien Ant Farm, and it just becomes like this rabbit hole of figuring out what you like.
Yeah. Alex?
Yeah, for me, I sort of find my music taste myself. Like none of my family are my friends were really into sort of the heavier music that I liked. But I found it mostly through watching ice hockey fight compilations on YouTube because I was a massive ice hockey fan, and a lot of times the music would be metal. And I remember hearing "Shimmy" by System of a Down, and I thought that's class. I need to hear more of this and listen to the whole Toxicity album. And I just thought this is for me, and just started finding different bands, and yeah, just it all really stemmed out from there for me.
Cool, cool. Right, we've got a couple of questions from the chat here. We've got Lisaboo. Oh, Lisaboo. She asks, "How did you pick the band's name?"
Yes, it was actually Rahul, our bassist, that picked the name. He's a massive Pink Floyd head. He absolutely adores Pink Floyd. Um, and they have the song "The Empty Spaces Band," so he was like, "Okay, we're going to become the Empty Spaces Band," and it just kind of stuck. We actually thought for a bit, we'll probably have to change this because every time you search "Empty Spaces Band," it brings up Pink Floyd. And then we were like, you know what? That's the easy way out. We just need to make sure we have more things on the internet than, the Empty Spaces Band song by Pink Floyd has. So I guess we'll see if that'll come back and bite us. But hopefully not. All about that search engine optimization these days.
Yeah, yeah. So, Jesse, we're going to get to your question in a minute. So, um, who was your main influence after all the bands you've listened to? Who was your main influence to say, "I want to do this. I want to get up on stage and actually perform live"?
Alex, you want to take it away? Because I'm actually interested to hear this. I don't think you've ever told me before.
For me, it was really just seeing Joey Jordison and Slipknot. I think he was the one that made me think I'd love to play the drums. Like, um, just the double bass and the size of the kit and all the different cymbals. I just thought like that would be the instrument for me. But obviously, it's sort of hard because your neighbors will never like you for playing the drums. So it's a hard path to take at times, but no, just saying Joey Jordison was the main one that I saw and thought that is for me. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
I always have a thing I would tease Alex with, and it's you have to be a certain kind of kid growing up for your parents to look at each other and go, "Yeah, we'll get him a drum kit because that's clearly the best situation for us here."
I
um,
tell everyone that, like I tell everyone that after you told me that.
oh, I thought of it one day whenever we were talking. I've turned all red from laughing here. God, this has been great. I'm having so much fun. In school, talking with the other teachers and about some of the kids wanting to go and learn drums. And I was like, you know what? It makes sense. These primary school children who will go off and start to play drums, like just seeing them as a child, it's like, yes, this is what they need, you know. But for myself, there's a very specific show. It's the Bullet for My Valentine live at Brixton Academy, the 2006 one. I remember sitting there. It was an encore electric guitar that was so bad. Anytime I touched like from here up on my arm where it was a bit softer, it would electrocute me because it didn't ground properly whenever you had it plugged into the amp. Like the action was this high off the fretboard, so trying to play anything, it was like a workout. I got tendonitis so much. I just sit there and watch the live at Brixton show, and I could mark my progress by how many songs I could play as I watched that video. I still do it to this day. I'll bring it up and I'll just play along with everything. But that's like burned into my brain.
Cool, cool, cool. So, prior to starting Empty Spaces, were you in any other bands?
Um, I've been in quite a lot of different bands, to be fair. I was in a pop punk band called Loss of Signal, and then before that, I was in like sort of gothic rock band called EB and the Deadlights. And we did some pretty big gigs. Like we supported Doyle from the Misfits when he came over, and did a bit of that. But I sort of found since being in Empty Spaces, like I feel like this is the band this is the one. Like this is I finally feel, you know, comfortable, you could say.
Makes me very glad to hear. Drummers are a rare resource these days.
Yeah, they are.
100%.
Well, I think for myself, I'd never really been in a band. I mean, like I was saying about my mate Kyle, we've always been, jamming out together. And him and I started, it was during lockdown with a bedroom project, just trying to get back into music. So I took a big break over like lockdown, and just before all the COVID stuff happened, I ended up getting really sick. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to not bother, which was an absolutely idiotic idea that I had, and somebody should have slapped me around the back of the head. But so I kind of had like a bedroom project going together where we're really trying to figure out, right, how do we write something good? How do we record something good? Where's the skills? And then before that, I was in college for music, or tech, and I did my level 3. So a bit of playing about in that, a few performances here and there. Maybe we went and played a bar with some of the ones from the class. Nothing, not like a band. Like whenever I was like 15, 16, me and a few mates used to sit in his garage and we'd have the upstairs. We called ourselves a band, but we only ever wrote 2 songs because the guy that was our vocalist would either not show up, or whenever he showed up, have excuses why he had no lyrics. And me and my mate, who was the drummer, we were just like, what is going on here? We'd be sitting writing all these riffs just to come in, and the bassist, other guitarist, and the vocalist would be basically there just to hang out. And we're like, right, this is not what we thought it was. Good crack, great crack. But yeah, no, Empty Spaces was my first like band. This is something we're going to try and make viable. This is something we're going to try and turn, not in a business as in we're in it for money, but a business as in like we're going to make sure that it's financially viable for us to go out and do the things we want to do, travel to the places we want to travel to, play the guitars that we want to be able to play, own the amps that we want to have. Like it's been a great ride so far,
Cool. We've got a question from Jesse581, our favourite Aussie here in Project Metal. She asks, what is your process of writing songs?
Kind of depends. I mean, sometimes it'll be a case of, one of us we all have our like audio interfaces and our, digital audio workspaces. I may sit down and write an entire song and slap it down in front of the guys. Steve and Rahul, they'll do the same. And, we'll maybe go from something that has a bit more of a framework behind it. You're going to play exactly this part because it's exactly as I wrote it. But we actually, what day were we rehearsing? Was it Tuesday?
Yeah, last night. Night, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was last night. Time. Yeah, last night we went into the room. We wrote near enough an entire song off of one riff Steve-O had. And then I have a few riffs together that I've been trying to piece into something, but couldn't quite get enough attitude into it, and brought that into the room. And in the span of a few hours, we'll have nearly 2 full songs of just, all right, you play this. Okay, then I'll play this. Then we'll turn around to Alex and be like, do something. And he'll like, just throw things at him and start playing. And he eventually figures out something to go. I was actually real impressed with last night, just turning around and being like, okay, we're going to play now. And you just started whipping everything out. It was really cool to see. It was really good fun.
I appreciate it. I try my best.
Dance monkey. Yeah, I suppose it really depends. Yeah, sometimes it'll be a full fleshed out song. Sometimes it'll just be bits of riffs. Like one of the ones was he had a wee pedal riff off the top string, where he's playing that passive 12th fret and just playing the open string, and then like, oh, I have an idea, let's write a chorus, and then we wrote a chorus, and then we're like, oh, what could go, where does this chorus want to go, and then we wrote a bridge, and then after writing a bridge, we were like, okay, then if it goes back into something, where would we put a solo? And then, oh, we've already got a chorus, throw that in after. Oh, we'll just take this riff that we were using for an intro, that becomes our outro. Okay, now we need a verse. We feel like it kind of goes in, it kind of went in reverse, which was kind of fun. It wasn't here's an idea and here we build off of it. It was we'll go straight to the end and we'll figure out after we have all the energy how we actually got there. So that was good fun.
Cool. Right. Right. We've got another question from Lisaboo. She asks, do you have a favorite song of your band to play?
What is your favorite song of ours to play? Because also something I don't know.
I would say mine is probably a song called Searching. It's got some quite fast sort of punk beats in it. And I love sort of the more punk and metal beats and even a bit of double bass at the end. But at the minute, I've actually been.
Oh dear.
It's out on everything: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. But I've really been loving it. Brilliant solo in it, thanks to Mr. Paul there. But yeah, been loving it.
I'm glad to hear. That's one of the ones that you're saying, doing the doll, and then you throw it in front of everybody in rehearsal. Searching is a very fun one. It was an interesting one to try and figure out, like the ending, right? Do it 4 times, but the first time doesn't actually start when the first time should. It starts in the thing before, trying to like count it out. I think it's definitely one of my favorite, 100% one of my favorite. I think probably because it's just so quick. What would be mine? It's a very good question. I love playing In Motion. In Motion is just a real fun song because of the flows of energy, the differences in the riff. Like I love whenever it goes to the halftime and the choruses and we're all just kind of head banging along in sync, and the very final chorus where everybody's, we've got myself, Rahul and Steve-O all doing the vocals at the same time, and it's just like a wall of sound with Alex in behind it going crazy with the wee you say that's also like a punk beat at the end for the outro and stuff. Would you call that a punk beat?
Definitely.
Yeah. It's one that has like a good rise and fall, and that one is on Spotify. So you can go stream Searching now and on other major streaming services. Oh, sorry, we don't have your mic coming through.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All good.
Right. What has the band been up to, especially in the last 12 months or so?
It's been exciting past year, hasn't it? We really kind of have done a lot, because obviously it's still quite early days. We've only been doing shows and stuff for the last couple of years. What's it now? So August. So this time last year, we hadn't even played Dublin. We didn't have a manager. We didn't have a single out or anything like that. And since then, we've already got to a point where we're playing all over Ireland. So, playing up Derry, Londonderry. We've been doing Drogheda and Dock, Dublin, obviously plenty in Belfast. Where we released 2 singles so far, which were awesome, a lot of fun. Actually, a year ago is whenever we picked up Alex.
Yeah, right enough, actually, yeah.
That was
Yeah,
such a good
it,
day.
it it doesn't. It seems like so much longer because it just has been such a busy year for us. Like even though we
Yeah.
played probably our biggest show to date in Mandela Hall in Belfast, which is massive. You know, it's a real milestone for us. And now that we've sort of been up and down Ireland for a bit, we're looking forward to getting over to the mainland, hopefully. So we'll have that coming soon.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. That'll be good fun. What else? What else have we got done? Oh, we got our rehearsal room. So we started actually renting a room of our own to do some stuff. Um, what else? What else? That room's been quite good because we were just paying for the rehearsal spaces, and like it's all well and good paying for them because you've got all the equipment there, and it's almost like a step down because we're trying to find free stuff that's been lying about. It's a big mill, like Belfast, of course, a lot of history with linen mills, and it's just a big old mill that has been sectioned off in all these little small rooms, and now they're renting them out. So, well, we got these two big Carl Brew like PA speakers. They're like massive, and I remember fellow was walking down the hall building some rehearsal rooms for Attic Studios. He was saying that they would have used them 30 years ago while they were rehearsing. And you could tell that that was the case because as soon as we plugged the mic into them, I forgot to mute it and a big puff of dust just comes flying out. So
I remember the
it's
guy told me. I remember going to pick that PA up, and the guy said, like, I've been gigging with this for the past 35 years. Like it's well older than you guys. But he said he played in a blues band, and I don't think he ever thought there would probably be filthy death metal riffs and all sorts being played through it and in this practice room, you know. But
I shout out fun
no,
guy
it
with
deserved
Fergus.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Just big pig squeals out of these PAs that have only ever seen, a Les Paul with a slightly dirty tone and some clean singing.
Cool. So, um, you've just recently released In Motion.
Mhm.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
In Motion was a really interesting song we did. I remember. So, funnily enough, the single that we released last year, Do You Want to Be the One, this current single, In Motion, and then the one that we've actually just been in the studio to record, that's coming out soon, were all written on the same day. And we just got into the studio with In Motion. It was awesome because I was waiting on Steve to come and pick us up and bring us to the rehearsal room. I was Rahul and Rahul had come up with a bit of a chord progression, sent it to Steve. He figured out some nicer kind of stuff to do with the chord progression. We're sitting at the train station. They were like half an hour late, as they usually were in those days. So I just whip out the guitar and start playing a few riffs and come up with some stuff for the chords. We get to the room and we're taking a break. And Steve and I are out having a smoke and talking about what we could do with it. And we just talking to each other like this, talk over the entirety of what the song will be, where each of those riffs that we worked out were going to fit, how it was going to go. And then we were just like, oh my God, we struck gold. We have to go do this now. Went into the room and played it more or less as it is to this current day, just with a few things we've tweaked up here and there. And so it was a really special song. We recorded at Start Together Studios with Michael Bell. He did our last one. So that was really awesome. I love working with him. It's always good crack. And then when did we drop In Motion?
Was it about 3 months ago?
Yeah. About 3 months ago. So since
That's about
then,
right. Yeah.
yeah, we had a nice launch for that. We got playing around Belfast. We had a really nice big show in the Student Union. That was awesome. That show was absolutely brilliant. So many faces that we had never seen coming to the shows. People that we maybe used to be mates with but haven't spoken to in like years, and they would be showing up. It was a really awesome show. Got down playing Dublin. That was good fun. we're slowly moving up the bill every time we played Dublin. You know, start off on the opening spot, and then that most recent time we got up to the main support and Fibber McGee's, which was awesome. Yeah, Emotions, quite a special one. Very happy.
Cool. You just mentioned that you're going to be dropping a new song. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
You want to take the floor?
Yeah, Back to the Sea. It's actually it would be up there with one of my favorites as well, to be fair. It's sort of a similar vibe to the other stuff, but stands out on its own at the same time. Sort of has the feeling of being on the sea, or kind of like you could say like a piratey feel almost to it, without being too comedic in a way. But it's always well received whenever we play it live, and it would be up there with one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. That was one Steve had been. Now he claims that this isn't the case, but I remember standing there in that room, and he goes, "I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean and listening to Alter Bridge, and I came up with this." And it sounds like if Alter Bridge did the score, the Pirates of the Caribbean. But he claims that wasn't the case, but I vividly remember him saying it. Real
That's a
bouncy
great
one.
way of describing it, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, we're done. No, I wouldn't say we're up there with Alter Bridge just yet. We've got a few records to go until we can pull that off. But that's the vibe from it. Another one that's real fun. You know, all three of us are doing vocals at the same time. Alex just absolutely beating the living daylights out of the drums. We got some cool strings going on in it. So Michael, he's working on that. We're yet to hear the first mix from it. We're at the end of day one, and it sounded great. Did you listen to the end of day mix that he sent back?
Yeah, I was really pleased with it. The strings, especially, I think adds so much to it. It's adds more like almost a theatrical element to it, which is
Yeah.
it's quite nice.
You ever play the old Medal of Honor games on PlayStation 2?
I
No.
never did.
No, Medal of Honor Frontline, the soundtrack, whenever you load it up, it's this very somber, solemn orchestra kind of going on. It makes me think of that. I'm very excited for it. That will be coming out in October, and our management is currently working on getting us over to the mainland for a few shows for that. So hopefully all going well, we'll have a nice little circuit around Ireland. We've got Cork booked. We're trying to look at getting either Drogheda or Dublin booked. We've got Belfast booked, and it'll probably end up being like Glasgow, Edinburgh, like Liverpool, Manchester, somewhere we can get the boat over, bring all our gear, do a couple days, stay, come back. So that'll be really exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. And it's the first single that we'll have released with our management. So I'm really excited to kind of step up the promotion, step up the process behind it all,
Cool. Are you writing any new material for, like, say, for an EP or an album?
I suppose we're always kind of writing when we can, aren't we?
Yeah, like even those two, I don't really know what they'll be for, but we've always sort of stuff in motion, pardon the pun. But yeah, it's sort of always an ongoing process where it'll just be riffs here and there, and we'll work on bits and maybe leave them and then come back to them. But yeah, there's always something.
Yeah, there's a Rick Rubin clip that always keeps popping up on my YouTube Shorts feed. And I can't remember who he's talking to. I think it was an interview that he did, and somebody was asking how he produces all the hit songs, and he was just saying, just write as much as you can. Don't stop just because you don't need to do it. And eventually something good will come. So I think we're always jamming. Like, it's what was it? We ended up in Sweet Home Alabama? We ended up in whenever we were trying to do the rehearsals for the studio.
Yeah. You never know what it's going to be. Sometimes it's Sweet Home Alabama. Sometimes it's 1,000 Miles by the Spartans, and you never know. It's
No.
always a surprise, and that's what I love about. To be fair, being in empty spaces as well is just the chemistry we had, even from the first day that I practiced with the guys. Like it was just we were just jamming away, and it was like we've been playing together for ages, and I just thought this is something special. Like I
That
love
was
it.
an awesome day because our old drummer wasn't very last minute said they weren't going to be available for the studio for doing our first single, and we were like, oh God, what do we do? I had already been playing a bit with Alex and asked him if he would jump in on it, and we got up to the room. We kind of ran through the song, and it just like that, like magic, just clicked, and it was done. And then we had all this time because we booked the room for like 3.5, 4 hours because we're like, oh, we've got to get Alex up to speed. So we just proceeded to just jam all sorts, pulling out the craziest solos we could, getting him to do all these drum solos. You know, we were all taking turns just coming up with like lyrics on the spot. And that was an awesome day. We all went out to the roof at the Blackstaff, the mill. It's on the very top floor that you have most of the rehearsal rooms. Then you go out to the smoking area that's caged in, and it used to not be caged in. So somebody did something they shouldn't have, and I'm quite worried to find out why. And we were sitting up there just chilling. We all just looked at each other and we just went, "Yeah, this is how it's going to be. This is from this day forth. This is it." You know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. We've got another question from Jessie581. She asks, any plans for final in the future?
You know what it makes me think of whenever Steve-O was trying to get the singles on the vinyl. They send us
Yeah.
the full size.
Yeah. It's something we are we're working on getting the vinyls. To be fair, as I say, Steve was looking into it, and it was just a single, and it was put on like a full album size vinyl. Um, so it's a work in progress at the minute, but we'll get there.
They had to do an A and a B side, so it was In Motion on one. Do you want to be the one on the other? And the actual grooves are about that far out on the record. Then you've got the whole rest of the record with nothing on it. Yes, vinyl CDs. When the EP drops, we're looking on doing big order of CDs, vinyls, and we're looking at getting an online shop going because we actually got an order of merch there, and we've sold out almost half of it in just a few days, which absolutely insane that happened. So we're trying to get a web store going. Thankfully, it's very easy to do that these days. You know, even with the card payments, like it's insane how easy it is now. I suppose it has to be because everybody's doing it. But yeah, we'll hopefully have an online store up very soon where you can buy all your CDs, vinyls, merch, beanies, all sorts.
Cool. Thank you for that, Jess. So we've got a couple of comments. Lisaboo says, "Love your music."
Thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate
Thank you.
Jesse says, "Love vinyl."
Really listen to much vinyl. I'm a CD guy, but vinyl's one thing. Like I know. Supposedly it's better, but I've just never been interested in the whole process. It's like more of a ritual. I feel like if you're into the ritual of the music, you get the vinyl, like you put it down, you give it a clean, stick the speakers on, like it's a whole. And I suppose it would get you very involved in listening to the album or the music, but I think I've been spoiled by all the streaming services. It seems like a little much for me.
Yeah, put it this way, I grew up on vinyl, and it's a completely different experience.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's you do get lost in the music, especially when you got the actual cover art with all the lyrics and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's just like, and you just listen to the music and you just like, you get lost in it.
Yeah. It's less of a background thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It is a unique experience. Like Lisaboo says, they're very unique sound with vinyl. You hear all the hisses and the clicks and but it adds to the overall experience. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's how.
Definitely. I love
Yeah.
CD for that. Just the difference in quality from going from like a stream of something to, or like an MP3 to a CD that has the proper quality for it. I'm raging. The CD player in my car is broken, so I have to use Spotify, and even on the highest quality setting, it still doesn't hit. So I can imagine vinyl must be the next kind of step up from the CDs, you know?
Yeah. It's got that unique, warm. In a sort of like, it's a proper full-on analog experience. It's a full-on, because out there, from what I've been talking to other people, like it's when you get your music sort of like mastered, it's a completely different process for vinyl than it is for CD, and it's completely different from like putting it up on streaming services, because it's like three completely different sort of like process of getting it put. So it's a lot more. It's a better. It's an experience, like I said before.
Yeah.
It's a full-on experience.
And the whole
I need
ritual
to get a
behind
good
getting
vinyl
going.
player. I need to get a good one because I do have a good collection of records, but I don't have a good record player, so it's sort of ruining it for me a wee bit at the minute. I just need to get a good sound system, and then I think I could be very easily put onto the vinyls.
Yeah. Me personally, I've got a Technics hi-fi system, and its quality is a lot. Quality is like that cost me about £300-400 20 years ago, 22 years ago. But it still works, and it's still the sound. As soon as I plugged in the record player, the sound is just amplified to up here with the quality of the sound.
I always see people saying about wearing out. Is that a thing? Do they wear out? Do you find that the quality of the vinyl drops over time, or is that more of like it's a insignificant amount, but if you really cared, there's like a little bit, or like is it more of a, is it a thing basically?
Yeah. If you constantly play it, it will sort of like wear out. Same with CDs, as do wear out after a while. If you look after them, then it will last for a long time. I've got vinyl here that are around about 45 years old, and it's still going strong.
Okay, yeah. So just look after him.
Yeah. Oh, but vinyl is well, put it this way, I'm a Gen Xer, so I grew up on vinyl, so it's I'm sort of like biased. Don't get us wrong, CDs and streaming services are brilliant, but they don't compare to vinyl.
And keep that in mind for whenever you get your player, Alex. Look after him. Don't leave him.
Yeah. Don't leave him at the venue and have to find him the next day.
Yeah. So, Yeah, we've done that one. Right. Yeah, I was going to talk about a little bit about merchandise. You mentioned that you got some merch. What type of merch have you got?
Just t-shirts and stickers for now. We need to do some new stickers because the ones that we got, they weren't the vinyl wasn't very good, so they wear out. But we're looking to get a whole new batch of vinyl stuff. We got the t-shirts, which is awesome. My mate Aaron, he's an absolutely brilliant artist. Aaron O'Hara for anybody on Instagram that needs an artist. You just need to give him a bit of a poke. He's ridiculously ADHD. But yeah, we got the shirts done. We'll have some more designs for the shirts. We've got some plans on some more stuff. What all have we talked about getting in? Do you remember?
Well, we're talking about beanies, weren't we?
Mm.
We're talking about beanies. Yeah, we've got the shirts. If anyone wants a shirt, contact us through the page, and we'll arrange some sort of delivery. Even maybe a handwritten message as well.
Yeah. And we'll put some X and O's at the end. We handwritten heart.
Yeah, a
Cool.
lipstick kiss even.
I was about to say we'll get Rahul to give it a lipstick kiss.
Maybe that's a wee bit too much now. That's maybe a wee bit too much.
Well, put it in a special order. If you want it, we're not opposed, but we'll not put it on every order. It's an extra fiver.
Yeah.
And would that be through your Instagram page?
Yeah. Contact us through Instagram, Facebook, emails on our Linktree through our Instagram. Yeah, just contact us on anything. We are everywhere. TikTok.
For Instagram, it's Empty Spaces UK, all just one word. And Facebook, we're just Empty Spaces.
Cool. And I suppose just said, "Ooh, the personal touch."
You gotta build up that client customer relation, you know.
Cool.
You have to.
Cool. So
Again,
yeah. So I've got a question from Lisaboo. Do you have a favorite venue you like to play at? And this is the second part. And do you have a dream venue like you would love to play at?
I'll go for it, man.
Yeah. So for me in Belfast, there's something I really love about playing voodoo. I think because it's sort of quite nostalgic for me because it was the first bar that I ever got served, and you know when you're underage, it's quite hard to find a bar in Belfast that'll serve you. So it's always been a fun place of memories for me, and
Don't get them shut
playing
down.
shows in it, they're always packed. But the dream venue, I would probably say Wembley. Like it would have to be Wembley. Yeah, just 100%.
Cool.
Voodoo's great. Voodoo is great fun. I think for myself, I have always loved our gigs we've done at the student union, the upstairs bar. It's been very, very fun to do. I think I've had some of my best experiences there. Is it my favorite? I'm not sure. I've been loving whenever we've done the Fibber McGee's upstairs. But because we're traveling down
Forgot
from
about Feathers.
Belfast, yeah, whenever we're, we may speak to people, we've seen a couple of people that have maybe seen us before, but it's never like, it's not like Belfast where you're just sitting out having a pint with a bunch of ones you already know and you're part of the scene, part of the community. So I love playing fibbers, but sometimes it doesn't feel as personal. Dream venue, I'd love to play. I want to do. I was saying before about the vote for my Valentine at Brixton. I want to play Brixton Academy just for that fanboying. But there's definitely some more. I think playing one in the Las Vegas Sphere with some crazy visuals going on around would be pretty cool. I think we could come up with something pretty obscene and humorous to be happening in the middle of the set.
That would
Cool.
be a good idea, actually. I have to draw up some plans for that, just in case.
Right. Throw up one of the other ones, search history behind.
Oh no!
Look behind you. I think that'll be good fun.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, thank you for that, Lisaboo. So, you mentioned earlier you're going to be sort of like setting up a few gigs later on in the year. You mentioned that you're going to be sort of like touring the UK, the island. Would you? And you mentioned that you're going to be trying to get over to the mainland UK mainland. Any other plans on doing any gigs into Europe or over into, like, say, North America or the US?
100%. So we're hoping by the time the EP drops, we've built up that circuit already for the UK, so that it'll just be a case of, throwing a few cities in every time we do it, just bang that out every like 3 months. And once we really get comfortable with the process and we make sure we're not gonna, nobody's getting hit over some silly argument, once we're sure that we can be in that space, we've already got plans for heading over to America. And nothing set in stone, but we know a few bands over there that would be like personally friends with Steve-O. His wife's actually from Alabama, and he would fly back and forth. So he's actually going to be away, around December, January time, and over there seeing her and her family. So through that, we've met some great people, like Dylan from Lightwatch. He's very keen on getting us over. He actually called me recently while me and girlfriend were just hanging out watching a movie, and just him and Steve-O whenever he was over, and he was like, right, so when are you coming over? When are you recording? When are you doing everything here? So we've got a lot of plans. Nothing set in stone, but it's definitely going to be happening. Definitely will be happening. I think our ticketing, especially next year, we're really trying to get involved with the festival season and make sure that we're hitting as many festivals as humanly possible. And we feel like that will help then getting the European festivals. And if we can manage to get the European festivals, say we manage to do, the summer and the year after, of just hitting those places up, it would be very cool. I see Lisa will definitely try and get through to Canada. I'm a big Oilers fan, so I wanna make sure I get through for an Oilers game at some point. Steve-O, he's got family from Toronto. Anytime Maple Leafs and Oilers are playing, we're always sitting up at 3 a.m. messing each other, talking absolute rubbish. But definitely on the cards. We can definitely make it happen, and we very much plan on making it happen.
Cool.
Australia
Cool.
too. That would be amazing. I would love that. I've some relatives over there, so we'll maybe pull a few favors and sleep on a few sofas.
Oh, of
Get
course.
over there too.
I feel like Australia would be a great pilgrimage as well. A lot of bands we love, like Parkway Drive. My brain is like completely blank on me there. Parkway Drive, absolutely love them. Make Them Suffer, love them. What are they called?
Amity Affliction, are they?
Amity
Are they
Affliction,
Australian?
yeah. And
Love them.
where's CJ McMahon? Why can't I think of the band? Thou Is Murder. Yeah, so I feel like Australia would be a proper pilgrimage, see the roots of a lot of the music I love.
Cool. Yeah, it will.
Go
Lisbon
Oilers.
says, "Go Oilers."
Second 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and she also says, "Cool. The stadium is an hour away from her."
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, definitely want to get up and check it out. I think it'd be very cool.
Yeah. So, where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, like Alex was saying, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Empty Spaces UK. On Facebook, it's just Empty Spaces. We are trying to get a little bit more active on the social media. I'll say that sometimes it's a real trying to pull it out of you to go on and go through everything and make sure you're posting regularly. But we're getting better with it. So yeah, Empty Spaces UK,
Yeah.
Instagram, Empty Spaces Facebook.
Cool. Oh, Jesse has just said, I'm getting over to the UK in about a year or so. Can't wait. So if you ever
You can
played,
come see us.
if you ever play in England or Scotland, let us know and we'll try and get to see you guys.
100%. Yeah, it would be awesome to see.
100%.
You know, it'd be very cool.
We can't wait to get over.
Oh yeah, Australia would be so good. I've been watching Malevolence's tour vlogs for their Australian tour. I can't remember who it was they were on tour with. Do you know Malevolence's last Australian tour?
Was it Speed?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not sure. It might have been. Doesn't ring a bell. But yeah, and their videos while they've been out there have been absolutely jealous. You know, there's before they even start off the tour, they're all just lying in the sun loungers by the poolside, drinking from all their cocktails. The sun's setting down. They're like, you know what, we could get used to this. I'm like, I want to get used to that. I think that would be just lovely.
Yeah. So, guys, in the chat, if you've got any more questions, please ask away. We're going to be starting to wrap things up in about 5-10 minutes or so. So, ask away. Any advice for people who want to become a musician, whether it's for their own personal enjoyment or possibly going down into the commercial route?
What do you think, man?
I would say play to a click. Well, for drummers anyway, I would say play to a click as early as you can. Just get used to it. Live with it. That's the way it is these days. You know, you're gonna have to play to one.
Practice.
Yeah, practice a lot. Like even just, I would say, learn so much from YouTube as well for any instrument. Like there's so much resources out there with technology these days. Absolutely use them and abuse them.
I would definitely say you mentioned there about getting into it for commercial reasons, and I'm going to echo what a lot of people say: is don't get in it for the money, because there is none. You have to beat 99% of others to get it. But if this is something, if you want to make it your business, you want to make it your bread maker, essentially, you can 100% do it. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of, like Alex was saying, you got to sit down, you got to go through playing with the click, you got to do the practice, you got to make sure that you love the process as much as you humanly can. And that's not for everybody. You know, I'm a teacher, so I got saying to you before about a couple of primary schools teaching, and I've got a bunch of students outside, and some of them, like, they just want to strum a few chords and sing a few songs. And if that's you, you are 100% valid, and you're still a musician, and you can 100% have that as your goal, to sit around a campfire and play songs that use 3 chords, and know about 100 of songs that only use those 3 chords because you don't want to bother learning any else. Like, do that. But if, like, I kind of see it as a challenge. I'm always trying to better myself. I'm always trying to one up myself, or one up somebody else that I have a bit of friendly competition. It's like, oh, you learned that solo, I'll learn this solo, and have them turn around and be like, well, I'm going to one up. So if that's you, it's absolutely brilliant. You know, there's always something for you to learn. There's always something for you to get better at. There's always somewhere for you to improve. And if you're going to do it commercially and you want it to make it your business, just do it. Just head down, go for it.
Cool. Cool. Sound advice there. Sound advice. Thank you for that. There's one more question that just came through from our head moderator, Lisaboo. She asked, "What is your favourite memory of performing?"
I would say for me, it might actually be the first gig I played with Empty Spaces, which was down in Fibber McGee's the first time. And there was just such a good crowd there. And we were just so locked into each other that night. Like, and it was just such a first gig to have with the guys. And that's one that really sticks out for me. Like, and Mandela as well, obviously. It would be between them two. Mandela was our biggest yet there. So yeah, it's really hard to pick, but those two would be the two that are up there.
That was a great gig. You know, I love all the videos that can't remember the name of the photographer. I feel bad. We actually scored him on an absolute blinder back in 2022. Me and my mate went to Machine Head, found a girl in the audience that was by herself and was like 5 foot. So we were like, okay, we'll stand beside you, make sure nobody, knocks you out. She ends up giving us a follow, and we were chatting away there. And then we needed a photographer, and she commented on the post. She tagged a guy who was a photographer, like a band photographer. We hit him up, find out that he does touring bands, like big touring bands, international touring bands. And he said he would do it for €50 for us. So we got some of the best photos that I've ever seen taken of us at a gig. The ones of me and you together, I'm headbanging, hair's going up in the air. You're absolutely smashing down on the drums. Those are absolutely brilliant shots. Or like at the end,
Like,
all the guitars up in the air, where all three of us are holding them up and you're getting ready for the big final stab. That was actually such a good night. I still love those photos. I can't believe we managed to get him either. We need to see if he still would do it for €50 or if I highly doubt it, but that was an absolute brilliant score.
550 maybe.
I think for myself, favorite memory performing would be, I don't know, now you said that night was absolutely insane, and coming off stage and having so many people coming up and letting us know how much they appreciated the show was brilliant. What was a great memory actually, after we had played in Dundalk one night, I had a fella come up to me and let me know this was kind of weird experience for me. I didn't know how to take it, but he was saying that he actually had a family member die recently, and he's just been in his head, and he was not having a good time, and he came and just saw us giving it absolute stacks on stage, playing this. He said that we were playing really tight, and the music that we had just made him want to get up and jump about. And he had a pint, and he had a dance, and he had a shout along with what we were doing, and it just kind of pulled him out of whatever that hole he was in was. And I remember him saying it to me. I didn't even know how to respond, because like, that's insane to think that you can go up on stage. And for me, it's like, I'm always thinking about all the things I've done wrong, the things I can do better. I'm a bit overcritical, and for someone to turn around and be like, "You've just made my week. I've been having a bad one. Thank you." So that felt pretty special. I really appreciated that moment, and I hope to do a lot more of it. I think there's definitely need a little bit more of that in the world.
Yeah, and I totally agree with this. With Lisaboo, music heals, and it does. Believe me, I've been through it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 100%. I think anybody who connects with music, to the degree that we all do, we know it definitely does. It heals.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a complete and utter pleasure. Complete and utter pleasure.
Having us. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. So, any final words before we sign off?
Yes, thank you, Lisa and Jesse, for all the questions. And shout out to Canada and Australia. Thank you very much for
Absolutely.
that.
Hope to be there soon.
Well, hopefully so. Follow us, Empty Spaces UK on Instagram, Empty Spaces on Facebook. Make sure you give Project Metal Music a subscribe.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a complete and utter pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having us. I've had a really good time. Really, really lovely way to send off the day.
It is.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And my pleasure. So, guys, until next time, we'll catch you all later.